BingX, a trusted global crypto exchange. Trade spot, futures, or copy top traders easily. Sign up via the link or referral code to get 30 USDT instantly, plus up to 1,500 USDT in bonuses for verification, deposit, and trading.
Gerry Turner, the inaugural star of The Golden Bachelor, has shed light on a curious detail surrounding his marital beginnings with Theresa Nist, revealing that following their highly publicized January 2024 wedding, they did not share a bed. This revelation comes from Turner's recently released memoir, Golden Years: What I've Learned from Love, Loss, and Reality TV, which delves into the unexpected turns his life took after finding love on television. Just a week after exchanging vows, Turner embarked on a significant journey, driving 14 hours from his Indiana residence to Nist's home in New Jersey. Upon arrival, he recounts an exchange that set a peculiar tone for their early days as husband and wife. Nist, according to Turner, presented him with sheets and pillows, explaining that a demanding workday lay ahead and requesting he sleep on the sofa for a good night's rest. Turner, a 74-year-old former restaurateur, complied, though his internal monologue reflected a sense of bewilderment. "Yeah, no problem," were the words that came out of his mouth. He writes, while privately questioning the decision. "Why? We're married." Despite his surprise, he prioritized avoiding any undue drama, especially on his first night in his new wife's home, stating he did not want to make waves. He also emphasized his understanding should Theresa have harbored reservations or desired to proceed at a slower pace, asserting he would never pressure anyone into discomfort. He even mused that if her request had initiated an open dialogue about deeper issues, he might have welcomed it. Instead, a silent agreement seemed to form as Nist prepared the couch for him. This arrangement, however, extended beyond a single night. What began as one night on the sofa unexpectedly stretched into 2, then 3. Ultimately, Turner admits he departed New Jersey a day earlier than originally planned. Reflecting that the time should have been a honeymoon, he noted a discernible shift in Nist's demeanor compared to their interactions in Costa Rica during the filming of their engagement. While her behavior regarding intimacy at the resort was described as comfortable and even forward, he observed that upon returning to the United States, she seemed to avoid opportunities for closeness. Turner clarifies that his definition of intimacy extends beyond the physical, encompassing the candid sharing of thoughts and feelings without fear of judgment, and making a partner feel special. Despite his enduring belief in a future with Theresa, these various forms of intimacy he had hoped to rekindle felt just out of reach in their nascent relationship. However, Theresa Nist offers a different perspective on their first night together. Speaking on the Dear Shandy podcast, she insisted they did share her bed on that initial night. Her explanation for her restless sleep was that it had been 9 years since she had shared her sleeping space with anyone, and she is generally not a sound sleeper. According to Nist, the topic of sleeping arrangements arose the following morning, and it was Gerry who offered to sleep on the couch, stating, "Oh, I can sleep on the couch if you want me to." She adamantly maintains that she did not ask him to sleep on the sofa. Turner's narrative also highlights other significant challenges that surfaced soon after their engagement. Beyond the sleeping arrangements, he encountered difficulties in finding a shared home and even a shared meal due to their vastly different eating habits. A particularly jarring point, he explained in an exclusive interview with E! News, was Nist's reversal on her stated intention to retire from her job. She had previously expressed readiness to quit work upon finding her right guy, only to later backtrack, signaling a desire to build up her retirement fund for another year. This, coupled with her reluctance to embrace life on his Indiana farm, which she reportedly found too isolated, created further division. Despite attempts to compromise, Turner felt a fundamental incompatibility, needing someone eager to explore, travel, and see the world, a pursuit he believed would be hindered by Nist's continued employment. These differences, alongside other perceived misrepresentations about her financial situation and her approach to their prenup, which he described as giving him the worst case of cold feet, contributed to growing doubts. The challenges extended to their living situations. Turner's search for a shared home in South Carolina, with properties in the $800,000 to $1.25 million range, was met with Nist's rejection of all his selections. She, in turn, proposed properties exceeding $4 million, a significant discrepancy that Turner found problematic. Nist, on the Dear Shandy podcast, acknowledged not loving the houses he picked but denied attempting to inflate the budget. The pressures surrounding the prenup, a document Gerry insisted upon due to his past mediation experience, added another layer of anxiety. He recounts his nervousness as days passed without Theresa returning the signed paperwork, particularly as she expressed that she would never in a million years take his money, and appeared confused about which pages to sign. This delay, he admitted, led him to fear she might run out the clock, causing him to question if they should have dated longer before committing to marriage. Yet, with the wedding date approaching, he felt trapped by the impending ceremony and the need to uphold his commitment. Turner's memoir also touches upon his pre-Golden Bachelor life, including the profound loss of his high school sweetheart and wife, Tony, to a bacterial infection in 2017. He reveals a devastating discovery made weeks after her passing. She had been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. This news prompted deep introspection about what-ifs and whether her reluctance to acknowledge her illness, stemming from a belief that complaining was frivolous, might have contributed to her untimely death. He questioned if he had inadvertently reinforced this mentality and why she hadn't felt comfortable confiding in him about such a critical health matter. Despite the pain of remaining in their shared Indiana home, he kept a photograph of Tony in his closet, a daily reminder of his 43-year marriage. The memoir also addresses past relationships, including meeting a future girlfriend at Tony's funeral, a detail he acknowledges was accurately reported by The Hollywood Reporter. Despite his claims of not dating for over 4 decades prior to the show, he admitted to pursuing this relationship too quickly, a misstep amplified by his lack of dating experience since the age of 18. Furthermore, Turner candidly discusses his emotional struggles during the show, particularly the difficulty of sending Ellen Goltzer home, describing it as a soul-crushing decision between her and Theresa Nist. Acknowledging that while both were pleasant, he felt a stronger sense of chemistry with Theresa. He also expresses regret for telling both Leslie Fima and Faith Martin that he loved them during their hometown dates, feeling unfaithful in hindsight due to his inability to give himself entirely to one person at that stage. He found Nist to be the safe choice, her career plans aligning with a vision of a shared future. Although he admits his heart was also drawn to the exciting but risky allure of Leslie. The narrative also touches on Nist's alleged strategic approach to the show, with several women reportedly claiming she was seen reading a guidebook titled, How to Win the Bachelor, at the mansion. This detail, Turner writes, made him feel sick to his stomach, raising concerns about her true intentions. Nist, however, attributed her reading habits to simple curiosity and a free Audible trial, stating she had only read the first chapter and it had no bearing on her participation. Ultimately, Gerry Turner and Theresa Nist announced their separation just 3 months after their wedding, citing irreconcilable differences that became apparent soon after their engagement. The long-distance communication proved challenging, and their attempts to find common ground on lifestyle, finances, and future plans proved insurmountable. Their romantic journey, which began with such public fanfare, concluded with a mutual decision to divorce, a stark contrast to the hopeful beginning depicted on television. Despite the turmoil, Turner expresses no regrets about his experience as the Golden Bachelor, now finding happiness with his fiancée, Lana Sutton, believing the show ultimately led him to his current contentment. The story of Gerry Turner and Theresa Nist serves as a poignant reminder that television portrayals, while captivating, often offer only a glimpse into the complex realities of human relationships.